You okay? Your mother come visit you yet?
She's still pissed I got Tim mixed up in that thing a while back.
Well, your brother's gotta walk.
I'm not.
I talked to some of the guys. They said the prosecutor, Beaumont, he's trying to prove something with you.
Prove what?
I'm Natalie Kingston. I'm a cinematographer, and I shot Blackbird, the limited series for Apple TV+. When I was doing research at the beginning of my prep for Blackbird, the first thing that came to my mind was this photo series by photographer Gordon Parks called The Atmosphere of Crime that I think he had done in 1957. His use of natural light was just very powerful and, for lack of a better word, cinematic in these photographs, although it was very documentary. What I found interesting was this pastel color palette that was in these prisons. The prisons were painted in light pinks and greens and blues, and I thought that was just an interesting juxtaposition, and that could be something that we could incorporate into Blackbird. You know, it's very much a show about misogyny and toxic masculinity, and, you know, with that subdued pastel color palette as a backdrop, I just thought that contrast was just unexpected.
Mind if I come in?
This initially large format felt instinctively right for this project. It's a very character-driven piece, and with lots of dialogue between these two prisoners who are developing this very dark, creepy relationship in behind, you know, prison bars. And so I thought the wider field of view of large format, and specifically the Alexa Mini LF, was just sort of perfect to create landscapes, if you will, with these characters' faces, and to really just immerse the audience inside these conversations. We were also confined to a lot of small spaces. We shot in a real prison, a lot of real locations across the board, but especially in those prison cells, it was really small, so that wider field of view really helped us. This was the first time I didn't operate, just because we shot with 2 cameras most of the time. Sometimes it would just be single. You know, we didn't try to force the second camera if it didn't make sense. But the approach was as if it was a single camera perspective, and you know, never to feel like multi-camera once it was edited. I made the right decision by stepping back because it was, you know, to watch both angles. But we had 3 camera bodies. One was always dedicated to Steadicam, and the other 2 were in studio mode, either on a crane or dolly for the most part. I really embraced a lot of the existing lighting and augmented and shaped it. So, for example, I utilized the existing fluorescent lighting, you know, changed out all the bulbs so they were consistent, but utilized those which were positioned in our, you know, all the cell blocks and outside all of the individual cells. And then we did things like, you know, each cell has a small window, so pushed light with large HMIs through there as well. And art department added a practical tungsten lamp in each of the cells too. So it was like really mixing all of those different qualities and color temperatures of lighting.
Friends to talk to. And we're right across from each other, so.
As the series progresses, and as Jimmy spends more time in Springfield Prison with Larry Hall and gets deeper into his relationship with him, and it gets darker, and the layers are peeled back in this character, and you know, you start to just become more intimate within, you know, his psyche. Larry becomes a mirror to Jimmy, and so Jimmy starts to look within his own self, and his, you know, kind of reflect upon, you know, his relationship with women in the past and how he's treated them. the lighting just becomes darker, more contrasty, more low-key in the daytime. So I wanted to reflect Jimmy's journey